Welcome to Hello Spookmas, where we have daily videos coming out all the way up to October 31st. Today on Indie Reviews, we are going to talk about puzzle games, specifically Archaica, and what it does right. Archaica follows the tried and true method of puzzles, lasers and mirrors. And if you don't know what that means, basically you have to reflect lasers from point A with mirrors to point B. There are a finite number of mirrors that spawn in a level. You can move them and rotate them to help you reflect the light into the proper section. There are different shaped mirrors which let you reflect the light in different ways. Like the short, stout one allows you to reflect light in 4 directions, up, down, left, and right. Whereas the taller, more rectangular one lets you reflect lights primarily diagonally. There are also items that allow you to deflect the light in 2 different directions, and some that allow you to boost the power of the light source, since there's only a certain number of times you can reflect the light until it fades away. That's only just a brief outline of some of the stuff that's in this game, and the later levels start to seriously kick your ass. While not as inventive as, say, Opus Magnus or Infinifactory, it doesn't really take away from this game. It's actually really good for what it is. Archaica takes you on a visual journey through desert cities, forgotten islands, and dams. There's so much more to this as well. Every one of these locations is overflowing with detail. This game has this really neat art style as well. It's kind of like an in-between of Jonathan Blow's The Witness and Mind of Patholomus. I feel like this is a perfect fit for the game. It's not trying to blind you with oversaturated, ridiculous color, and it's also not trying to take itself too seriously, being extremely realistic. The menu system's a little bit outdated in this game. Once you launch the game, you're brought to another launcher, where you can select your graphics options. Here you can only choose between which monitor it's displaying on and whether it's in full screen or not. After selecting the right monitor and launching the game, you're brought to another options menu where you can go more in depth. This is fine, whatever, it doesn't really matter too much, but why not just have them all in the same location? Also, there was another problem with this game. I have 4 monitors, and there's no mouse or cursor lock in this game. So whenever you were like moving around the map, sometimes your mouse would just go to your second monitor and you'd click off the screen. And it takes like 5 or 6 seconds to launch back into the game, since it doesn't allow you to go into windowed borderless. I personally had a problem with this because whenever it would just alt-tab you, it took you completely out of your train of thought. One thing I want to address separately than everything else is the achievement screen in this game. It's actually super cool. See, you have this giant totem, and whenever you unlock an achievement, one of these sections jut out and lights up in this crazy blue light. The story elements in Archaica are found through collectibles, besides a couple cutscenes. The collectibles aren't that hard to find, and they give you something to do if you're stuck on a level. But I wish the story stayed open to the player instead of being hidden in collectibles. Personally, I went for all of the collectibles in the game, but I never really read the text when I was playing because I wanted to get to more puzzles. It's like putting a story behind Nidhogg. I'm not playing Nidhogg for a story, I'm playing it for the game. Either way, it wasn't so bad that I wouldn't recommend this game. Finally, the sound design in this game. It was actually pretty good. All the objects made the sounds that you'd expect them to make, and nothing really sounded cheesy. I actually didn't find any problem at all through the game. The soundtrack is hidden pretty well in the game. It allows you to focus primarily on the puzzles, but while listening to the soundtrack, it's actually relatively enjoyable. So where does Archaica land on my scale of 1 to 10? Well, I'm gonna have to put it at a 7 out of 10. It's actually an above average puzzle game, and I really recommend anyone who enjoys puzzle games to give this one a shot. Currently, it's 20% off all the way up to November 1st. Thanks for watching this episode of Indie Reviews. Tomorrow we'll be bringing you Indie Picks Killing Floor 2. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you then.